Welcome to Sens Talk. My name is Brandon, and I am your host. Now, before we get started, please follow me on Twitter at @SensTalk_. I greatly appreciate a follow there. As well, in the next week or so, we'll have another episode of Let's Talk. This one either going to be about Craig Anderson or Chris Neal. I'm not going to tell you exactly what the topic will be about, but it will be about one of those two players. And stay tuned within the next week. We'll have an episode of that out. Now, today is the Sens Weekend Review, the Sens Recap, whatever you want to call it. And firstly, the Sanders brought back a cool color to their jersey scheme. It's red. They brought back the red jersey as their third jersey for the upcoming season, as the NHL as a whole brought a whole new thing called retro jerseys. Each team had a new jersey. They all revealed it a few days ago. Sanders, you'll see on the screen here, revealed theirs. It's a red jersey, but it's more of a 1992 logo, 2D logo for the Ottawa Sanders. It has the red cape like it did in 1992, but the difference between the original 92 logo and the new retro 92 logo on the red jersey is that it doesn't say Ottawa Sanders on the crest itself. But overall, if you can see it right here, I think the black and white jerseys are much more beautiful, but I think the red is really nice too, and they're very flashy. They're very gold. They're like the gold material is much more eye-grabbing than on the original jerseys, the black and white jerseys for Ottawa. So you know what? I think these jerseys are going to pop on the TV screen or even on the ice if we're able to go to games this year. But yeah, I think they're really, really nice. I think Ottawa actually did a good job, surprisingly. If you look at Detroit's, you look at Toronto's, a lot of Islanders, a lot of teams missed out on some really nice jerseys. But Ottawa, it's nothing like insane like the Pittsburgh or Boston jerseys, in my opinion. Those are some of the nicest ones. But Ottawa definitely did a good job here. Now, Ottawa also made a signing this week. They signed forward Michael Haley to a $700,000 deal NHL, $200,000 in the AHL. It's a one-year, two-way deal. Haley spent the 2019-20 campaign with the New York Rangers and registered 1 point. That point was a goal and 50 penalty minutes in over 22 games. Now, Haley has skated in 270 NHL games in his career, with the Islanders, Rangers, Sharks, and Panthers recording 32 points, 11 of those were goals, 21 assists, and 687 penalty minutes. He's been held scoreless over 13 NHL postseason contests, including 11 with San Jose in 2019. Now, essentially, this is a depth move for the AHL. I don't expect Michael Haley to make an impact whatsoever ever in the NHL. He may get called up for a few games if they need a veteran player or a rough fourth line grinding type of player, but he's not going to make the team out of camp unless something drastic changes. He's more for the guys to mentor them in Belleville and provide some physicality there in Belleville as well whenever that season starts. Now, let's take a look at the prospect spotlight of the week. It is Roby Jarventi, who we drafted in the second round in this season's draft. He's been incredible with Eels in the La Liga, and I mean incredible. He's been dominating. In 15 games, he has 13 points. 7 of those were goals. I'm sure I'm going to show a highlight here. He's been sniping goals, and you know what? I know it's early, I know a lot of people are skeptical about the pick to begin with. I trusted the team. You could read the tweets if you want. I trusted the team when they drafted him because we saw what happened with Shane Pinto. We've seen what happened with Brady Tkachuk. I trust the Sens now when they draft somebody. Even Levi Merlanen, the goalie who they drafted like the 5th, 6th round, he's having a good year too. So Ottawa actually knows how to draft, and this is one of the key things I like about Ottawa and their management right now is they're very good at drafting. So I always trust them, and they've done it here. Roby Jarventi, 15 games, 7 goals in one of the top leagues in the world, the Liga. It's a top Finnish league. And you know what? I think we've seen Scott Wheeler, friend of the show, and Haley Salvian. I believe she was part of the article too. And they made a great article dissecting Roby Jarventi and why this is not just a bloop. This is legitimate. Like what he's producing right now in the Liga is legitimate. And you know what? Is he going to be a superstar? Probably not, but he's looking like a nice top 6 option that with scoring abilities, and he could be even more. Right now he's progressing nicely. I look forward to seeing how he develops continuously during the season when there's not much else to look at because the Senators haven't played in almost a year. I'm starting to go a little crazy. Now let's move on now to the World Junior Championship, where Ridley Gregg was invited to Team Canada for the World Junior Training Camp, which has begun. But he's out indefinitely, unfortunately, due to a positive COVID-19 test. So firstly, best wishes to Ridley Gregg. Speed recovery, of course. And Coach Andre Tourigny, who's also the 67th head coach, Ottawa 67th, the head coach of Team Canada, expects Ridley Gregg to come back to camp at some point. But Ridley Gregg, who was already on the bubble of making the team, it was never no guarantees. He was on the cusp maybe, but he wasn't a shoo-in. This will make it a lot more difficult for Ridley Gregg to make the team, so we'll see. But he has a great attitude, and that's his character's been one of the biggest points that we've heard about him since we've drafted him in the late first round this year. So he's a great character kid. I think he'll be able to push through this, and I think he'll be able to recover nicely. And now, speaking of recovering and stuff, the NHL's trying to recover. The season apparently is in on hanging by a thread right now. Elliot Freeman said this the other day, and I believe him. There's no doubt that NHL will start the season at some point. There's too much money at stake. They will get it done. They did it before. They'll do it again. I really do trust because they know what's at stake here. The league itself is at stake here. A lot of losses have already occurred, and the league can't afford to lose any more money. They're losing money left, right, and center, and they need to put a product on ice this year to keep things sort of moving while we try to move away from COVID eventually with vaccines coming out, etc. But like I was saying, the Canadian division, it's a go. It's going to happen. Definitely 100%. There's going to be a Canadian division for all 7 National Hockey League teams in Canada. And that's going to be really, really exciting. We're going to be able to see guys like Connor McDavid play, Mark Scheifele, Matthew Tkachuk versus Brady Tkachuk at least 7-8 times this season. You're going to get Elias Pettersson. You're going to get, who else? What other teams you got? You got Edmonton. You got Calgary, Winnipeg, Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto. Holy cow. This is going to be a great year for content because we're going to have so many games against rival teams like the Maple Leafs and Habs. At least 16 times we're going to play against those teams, maybe even more against those two teams. So get ready for content, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm here at home. We're in the middle of COVID-19. We're trying to beat the hell out of this thing, but we're not there yet. So we're going to be at home for a little longer. So a lot of great content will be coming your way, regardless of games. But once the games return, you might want to subscribe now before it's too late, because we're going to be putting out a lot of great content. And that's going to be, I am really just looking forward to the season. World Juniors, we have stuff planned. I'm going to make sure I put some videos out for that. But, I think for the season to start would be great for y'all, for me. I get to create the videos that this channel is based off of, game recaps, right? I'm going to be able to do that finally. It's going to be fun. But, they're expecting a 60-game season that would likely begin around January 1st. We'll see that deadline. They want it to be January 1st, but I think it'll be within the first 2 weeks of January. That's, I think, more of an not ideal, but more of an expected goal to see the NHL achieve. I think January 1st is too optimistic. Now, let's move on now to the AHL, where the AHL may have Canadian divisions as well, because according to Bruce Garriock, among the proposals the AHL is looking at for the 2020-2021 season, it is an all-Canadian division with Belleville, Toronto, Laval, I've got family there, so I shouldn't be able to not pronounce that. I got family in Laval, so it's a little embarrassing. It's Laval and Manitoba, the Manitoba Moose, which play in Winnipeg. Vancouver, Calgary, and Edmonton don't want to relocate their AHL teams to Canada because of the expense involved, obviously. So the division would be between Belleville, Toronto, Laval, and Manitoba. A 4-team division. I don't know how that's going to work. It's they're going to have to cut the season to maybe 30 games or something. I don't know how that's going to work. You can't play the same 4 teams a credible amount of time unless maybe they do something like what baseball does with weekly series, like 2-3 games here or there. You can't have 5 games in a week and, 4 of them are the same team. Like, it's just, you got to switch things up, and I think they're going to cut the season a little bit shorter because, 1, they're not going to get the ticket revenue, and 2, there's 4 teams. So I think in my opinion, we should expect a shorter AHL season as well, because there's a lot of money at stake if they keep the season longer, especially without fans in the stands. That AHL doesn't have any lucrative TV deals. So I'll keep you posted on that. That one's a little interesting. Now, the DEL, the German Hockey League, the top league in Germany, is looking to return around mid-December, which is right on track for when Tim Stützle, Ottawa Senators' first-round selection, 3rd overall this year. This is when Tim Stützle is supposed to return post-injury. Stützle will likely be with Team Germany, though, during the mid-December period when the DEL is expected to open. He will be with Team Germany of the World Junior Championships, or even potentially with the Sanders for training camp. More likely, he will be with Team Germany at the World Junior Championships. I think Ottawa wants him to dominate that, that tournament, get some good opportunities, get some real game minutes, and then he'll come to Ottawa maybe for some preseason action. But, I think Bruce Garriock mentioned that Stützle is probably done in the DEL, and I think he is. I think the next step for Stützle, recover that arm, recover whatever is broken, and then from there, you're going to, get some World Junior ice time. He's going to play very, very well with Germany. They got a really, really bright future there in Germany, actually. They got a really plethora of, young talent. Draisaitl, of course, but even, you got, of course, Stützle. You got a lot of good players that are coming out of Germany right now. So that team should do well in the World Junior Championships, to be honest. But, he's going to play in the World Junior Championships, and then he's going to come to Ottawa. So I don't see him going back to Germany, but I do see him returning, coming to North America, going to the World Junior Championships, getting some minutes, and then coming to Ottawa, and then we'll see where he's at there. Now, the last bit of news before we wrap this video up, we're already at 11 minutes. It's numerous teams in the ECHL, that's the East Coast Hockey League, have suspended operations for the upcoming season, including Ottawa's affiliate in Brampton, the Brampton Beast. The Sens now must look for a place for Mandalise to play. The QMJHL with Cape Breton is an option for Kevin Mandalise, but Cape Breton did trade away a few players. It's unlikely, according to a few, that Mandalise would return to Cape Breton, but a reporter, LaPlante, from Le Droit, I believe, Plante is his last name, I'm sorry if I got it wrong, but he did report that Cape Breton is an option for Mandalise, and if Ottawa can't find an ECHL or AHL affiliate, to take on Mandalise, does he go to Belleville as a third goaltender, which is not ideal, or does he go to Cape Breton for his final year eligibility? I think he goes back to Cape Breton because I don't know what team is going to give him more ice time, right? And, right now it's all about development. And yeah, I know maybe it's not the best for his development to not play against professional players, but I'd rather him play a full season in the QMJHL than get like 10 games in pro. It's just logistically that's what would likely happen. So I think QMJHL will make the most sense for Kevin Mandalise. But like I said, with the HL divisions and the Canadian stuff, I'll keep you updated on that as well as soon as things happen. But besides that, that will be it for today's episode. We are 12 minutes in. I love making these videos, and be sure to comment below what you think about all the news. Lots of news, actually, this week. So I'll keep you updated, and stay tuned the next week or so for another video of the Let's Talk series. So besides that, thank you for watching. Please follow me on Twitter at @SensTalk_. Please, please, please like us on Facebook at SensTalk. Go to our website, senstalkcentral.com. And of course, click the red button down there, subscribe to us, and turn the notification bell on so you get notified whenever we upload a video. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate the support. I'll see you within the week for another episode of Let's Talk. So stay tuned. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe, of course, and I'll see you in the next one. Go Sens, go.